this course, it needs to be development of the skills that we know of when we studied in undergrad, right? It's not like I ask you to do an essay and just write something about it. It's not all about writing an essay. It's all about really learning what it is to do the mathematics of statistics or probability. So I have three colors, so you know why I need three colors. We're all math teachers, and we know we're going to write a lot of graphs and a lot of functions. Because last time when I was teaching science teachers. When I was writing, like, proving of mathematics, like, what is this? It's like we all have bloody noses, right? But I expect that it's going to be okay with us when we try and, do the mathematics, all the things. So as I look at the course title, it's all about probability, right? Is it? It's probability and statistics. So it would be very particular on the probability, which I think everybody hates, including students, because probability is the hardest thing, I think, in statistics, especially if there's no rules about it. There's always no rules about probability. We look at a certain event, we decide on what kind of function, formula we're supposed to do about it. So we are going to practice not the formulas, but our approach to the particular question. How do we approach it? And I hope I can add to your plethora of tools and how you can teach your students in how to approach a certain problem. You see, I don't have anything, and I'm used to teach like this. No particular stuff. Like, I do always post things online after the lecture, but I just do things like traditional. I don't know. Do you believe in that? Traditional is always the best way because people just looked at you. But in today's time, people have iPads and everything, so what they do is just take a video of you and review what you said in their houses. That could also work out. I mean, I think that's the best, another way of dealing. So let's start. All the things I try to say in here, I'll try to summarize it with examples on our Schoology. So I do hope that you have idea of how to use Schoology.
Yes.
Like all of us are okay with Schoology. Okay. How many are you guys? 12?
They're supposed to be 12.
But now it's 11.
I actually 10. For 10, yes.
So what's the probability of those students not attending the class? Anyway. So let's see now. The first thing I guess your teacher would tell you is to define what events are, right? Like, I might be using terms that you're not familiar with, but this is how we approach it in the US and also in UK. Events are what we look at. Like, for example, what I just mentioned a while ago, what's the probability of those students not attending the class? So I focus myself onto that event, which is, what's that event?
The students not attending.
Yeah, the students not attending the class. And somehow, it's hard to justify that to our students. Like, I mean, when we're teaching in high school, but events are what we focus on. Right? So there are many ways you can define events, but the easiest way is what we are focusing on. And the universe is defined as the totality, like everything. But we need to be careful with the term universe, because if we include everything in the universe, then it's hard to define what event we're particularly talking about. So when I say an event, the universe needs to be related to the event that I'm talking about. So these two things are related. I guess as teachers we know this. What I'm trying to say here is, if I ask, what's the probability of students attending now, then I just need to count how many you are in this class, and I need to know the total. So you understand that the universe I'm talking about is the total related to the event that I am looking at. I guess we've always been using Venn diagram all this time for students. Does it work? Right. Yeah. Of course it does work, right? It's a very excellent tool that we use for them, and it all works all the time. And what do you call this square thing? Do you call it U in school?
Universal set.
the universe as said, correct, yeah, or the universe or the totality, but it needs to be in particular to the event that we're talking about. If you have any questions, you can just interrupt, it's fine with me. Online, you cannot do that. You wanted to ask your question, but you cannot grab your teacher from the video, isn't it? Like, I want to ask my question, but I don't know, there's a video, how can I grab it? So, yeah. Anyway, so this is the event, E, which is inside of the universe. And whenever we are trying to look at that certain thing, we can just put an EI underneath, which is a subscript, right? And is this hard for students to understand, like subscripts? Like, does sometimes it interrupt the way of understanding?